Hello again. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Whether you are a new viewer, new viewer, new subscriber, welcome back on my YouTube channel. Okay, I created this YouTube channel because I want to speak about my own personal experience. I want to speak about my own truth, and I also want to speak about other topics that most people actually avoid talking about, that are often viewed as sensitive. But I feel like, you know what, why I don't share my own opinion, why I don't share my own perspective about things that are actually happening around us, our own experience. Probably someone out there gonna find my truth and resonate with it, because it, as I said, it's my truth, and I'm not forcing anyone to view life as I do. But I 100%, they actually my tribe out there that can resonate with my content. But of course, I'm not just gonna be consumed by the likes, the followers, and all that, because at the end of the day, it's my truth. I'm not expecting so much from people understanding what exactly am I talking about or anything. So I'm decided to talk about well, I'm not married, I've never been married, but I'm just gonna talk about divorce. And I've seen like divorce are happening a lot, like they are actually happening a lot lately. And I feel like compared to the old times, the old generation, divorce was something that is viewed as something bad, or something that is a lot of people who came up from divorce, they are actually not treated equally as people who are married. They are viewed as failure, they are viewed as um they end up having this kind of guilty, which I don't understand. Why should you feel guilty if you try so hard to make a relationship or marriage work? So I'm just gonna talk about this because it's something that I've been like postponing to talk about ever since. I've been want to talk about, but I want to focus more on Lisa Bonet and Jason Moore, and I was like, nah, there's no way I'm not gonna talk about this kind of couple. It's none of my business and whatsoever. So I'm just gonna share this as my own truth, and authentic as it is, because I'm a soul seeker, and my observation, my way of thinking, the way I view society and everything, it's it's solely on me, and it's solely on my own growth. So I'm not expecting so much from this. I'm not expecting people to actually agree with what I'm gonna say, but at the same time, some of the things that I'm actually gonna talk about, it's actually a truth. So yeah, so I'm just gonna, because divorces are happening a lot, like a lot lately. A lot of couple divorcing, especially people who got married 2005, 2004, like the 2000s, as well as people who got married back in 90s. They're actually divorcing a lot. And is divorce a bad thing? No, divorce is actually not a bad thing. Divorce, when you're actually getting married to someone, it's just it's not guaranteed whether their marriage is gonna be a forever thing, or it's gonna be any other way around. When you are married to someone, it means that you are both willing to understand. You are both people who are actually entitled in whatever, because we are, as much as you are married, it doesn't mean you are actually one. It means we are both individuality supposed to find a way to interdependent on one another, because both individuals supposed to be in a place they are both independent, and they're both finding a way to 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 make it work through inter independently. So all of that. So I don't believe that I've heard about a lot of compromise. Some of the compromise, I found them extremely codependent, toxic, that a lot of couple actually do. For example, I'm just gonna make example like with Lisa Bonet as well as Jason Moore. When he said he did his locks because he wanted to impress Lisa Bonet, I was like, mm? I was like, what kind of compromise? Okay, it may seem something like small, but I was like, You know, you're not supposed to do things just because you want your partner to see you, because at that time he was not yet dating Lisa Bonet, but he was he Lisa Bonet was his childhood crush back then. So he wanted something to be common with, you know, he was forcing something common. Yes, Jason Moore is a huge fan of Bohemian, and Lisa Bonet is a obviously a Bohemian. She always doing things unconventionally. She's just a black sheep, and Jesse Moore have that tendency. They both have something in common that made them work. They both view as they always view as different, because Jason Moore once opened up about he's different, about it, how he felt different. He never felt like he belonged. And Lisa Bonet once she mentioned something like that. You know what happened to both of them? They got a lot of things that are actually common. Just because you have a lot of things in common with someone, it doesn't guarantee a forever connection. Because at the same time, as much as you have something in common, are we both growing emotionally? Are we both growing mentally? Are we both growing spiritually? And as we both are two individuals who actually have their own career, are we able to make it work through our own career? Because both of them were actors, and I heard that Lisa Bonet is more on the background now. She's more like a director. She's working in the film industry, but they're not in the background. While Jason Moore is still in a public figure. Both of them are public figures, but what I'm trying to say is Jason Moore is more of a more on in the entertainment industry, in terms of like he's still active in acting, while Lisa Bonet is more like withdrawn into acting. So I'm just gonna talk about that. So when we're talking about those people, I'm talking about, I've mentioned a compromise that Jason Moore that he made, that made me question like what, when he mentioned that he did, when he made his log, he wanted to impress. I feel like he was forcing some kind of I don't understand it. You might have a lot of things that are common with someone, but it doesn't mean you should compromise yourself like that. And there was another thing that he mentioned that made me raise my eyebrow. I was like, what, you know? So I'm talking about that. So when you actually people who are divorcing, it's because it's not that they don't love each other, or maybe sometimes because they fall out of love. And when you're falling out of love, you obviously there's no way you keep dating someone, keep pretending that you actually your marriage is actually working. It's not working. You can nothing that you can do that can make it work. So yes, and sometimes there's actually a lot of things that we can tell when relationship is not working out. I'm not saying that when you're actually dating someone and into the marriage, you're not going to experience financially difficulties, experience any kind of difficulties in any manner, because you are both two individuals who are actually experiencing life. When we're experiencing life, there's always a pleasant time, also unpleasant time. In both of that, how you are you both working toward that? Are you both supportive toward it, towards each other? Because that is something that is actually important. When you're actually with someone, it doesn't mean you are supposed to be fixing them. Well, you know, you're not supposed to be fixing someone. You're not supposed to make another person by compromising yourself. You're not supposed to. Yes, you are both putting a relationship a priority, but both of you should supposed to do it individually, prioritizing one another. Like as Lisa Bonet is supposed to prioritize herself, while Jesimo also has to prioritize herself. But at the same time, they have to make it work to prioritize their relationship, despite that they actually both have their own individuality, both have their own life. So when I'm talking about why most of the time romance actually fade away to the point that it end up when you both married, it end up being a divorce. So divorce is not a bad thing that a lot of people make it up to be. Divorce is another phase, it's another experience that we actually experience. That means whatever that it made you feel like this someone is forever, this is just because you are married, it doesn't guarantee that it's forever. Just because you are actually in a committed relationship, it doesn't guarantee whether it will gonna end with marriage. Probably you end up growing with your partner, or growing, both of you growing, but not growing in a way that we both moving forward. But both of you moving forward separately, moving forward in a different direction, and that is okay. So when you're actually dating someone, when you meet someone, and we're all gonna meet our soulmate in every version of ourselves. For example, because I'm interested in carpentry, interested in interior designing. I'm just like, I don't know whether I just wanna expand it into a career or what. You know what happened? Because I'm in this element, I'm seeing carpentry as something that I actually want. I want to pursue. I want to try. And you know what? I've been surrounded, and ever since I've speak about this kind of passion that I actually have about carpentry, interior design, and I've got a lot of dates that are actually that are in also carpentry interior, and I was like, what? I almost mistaken as them as uh, my son, but of course, because we went out on a date, and they were like, and as something down, like something happened on my head. I was like, you know what? You meet people in your energy that you are actually in, whether you are in denial or whether you are so what. When you are actually meeting people, they vibrate on the same element that as you are. So when you're actually neglecting your needs, you're gonna meet a partner that is actually neglecting your own needs. Even if you spoke about, even if you do, but you are not doing that exactly to yourself. So why are you expecting your partner to do exactly that? So I'm just gonna talk about all of that, because I feel like divorce are happening because of that. And as mentioned that both Lisa Bonet and Jason Moore always felt like they have a lot of things that are actually common, and they both of them that were in the entertainment industry, and they both met each other. But Jason Moore make it to the point that because he had a crush on Lisa Bonet back then, so even if he had crush back then, he made it. He wanted to be possible. That was a pure crush, because any 8-year-old won't be knowing too much. Besides wanting something, he won't see any kind of restriction. Because kids, whenever they say something, notice that a lot of things that kids say, they happen because they are vibrating from a higher vibration, and they don't see limit, they don't see limit, they don't experience any kind of obstacles, because they don't understand why my mother go to, even though they knew mom go to a job, or my father is working, they don't understand the whole thing. So whenever they said, ma, I want this, they're gonna get it. So Jason Moore view it in that manner when he actually approached Lisa Bonet. So I'm talking about their marriage because it ended, and I was a huge fan. I'm still a huge fan, but I understand because both of them mentioned that they both want to be authentic to themselves, because at the beginning it was common, a lot of things that are actually common. Just because they have a lot of things that are actually common, it doesn't mean they can make a relationship weak. So it was a lot of trauma bonding, because both of them, they have a lot of experience that are actually the same. Both of them, they have both of their parents are actually interracial, if I'm not mistaken. Jason Moore mentioned that his parent, both parents actually not from same ethnicity. Is it ethnicity? I don't know, but they actually not from a same culture. As well as Sister Bonnet is also like that. So they got a lot of things that are actually common, that made them vibrate on the same frequency, and that made them a couple for a longest time until they got married. Was it 2017? So I'm talking about who you meet your soulmate in every level of your, in every level, that is in every version of yourself. So whenever you're vibrating in a certain vibration, you're gonna meet that person. If you don't love yourself, you're gonna meet a partner who's gonna make sure that they make you feel like shit because you don't love yourself. They're gonna make all those things that your insecurities to be not being put under the rug. They're gonna make those insecurity up on you, like you will understand that this is something that I need to heal from. So I'm talking about those kind of things. Whenever you actually meeting someone, this is something that you should know. As much as you are compatible for that vibration that we're actually in, when you are growing with someone who's actually evolving, it's kind of hard to meet partner who actually evolving as you, as fast as you. Sometimes you're gonna meet your partner, and then both of you have this phase of a romance that is happening and happening, and after some probably a year, you'll be like, you know what, I don't feel this anymore, because you are evolving. Is your partner also meeting you? And in your in your evolvement, I'm gonna make an example for myself. When I was dating someone, I was happy for the at the beginning, but at the same time when I'm looking at my reasoning for dating them, was like, oh, like I was like, oh, you know, because I was like, I couldn't believe that I actually dated someone for that reason, you know. So you know, I met people in a whatever vibration that I was in, and both of them, they mirror exactly what I need to heal from. So when I was actually dating them, I was bored. I thought maybe I need to see them after a few months. Maybe if I see them after a few weeks, maybe if I make excuses to not bump into each other, probably I'll find them interesting again. You know, I used to feel bad about my involvement. I used to feel bad about me wanting something new. I used to make excuses because I was growing too fast. My partner was not catching up, and some of them didn't grow up, because a lot of narcissistic people, they don't grow, but financially they grow. So, but in other way, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, they don't. So I was uh depressed, exhausted. I feel like I was exhausting myself. I was giving too much in those relationships, romantically as well as friendship. I felt like when I see my friends after a lot of time, after not seeing them a month, that I would enjoy, and I would say I enjoy the conversation with them. I used to think that it's something is wrong with me. This is, well, my flaws or what, because I lose interest so fast, and I've never understand why I was like that until I get to understand myself. Because knowledge of self is intelligent itself. The more you put work on working on yourself, the more you do share the work, the more you are in a phase where you understand why are you acting the way you have to act. Because as much as you read a lot of people, if you are not ready to understand yourself, because you are the book. So when you are actually in a process where you're like, you know what, I'm understanding myself, I'm learning more about myself, I need knowledge about who I am, what I want, what I'm actually passionate about. Doing all of that is intelligent itself. And when you are doing that, you are vibrating in a vibration, you are vibrating in an energy that is like, I want to know this, I want to know this, I want to know that. And then when you are vibrating that, you attract a lot of things that actually mirror that. For example, because I was now okay with my introversion, and I met a lot of introvert. I met a lot of people who are actually INFJ. I met a lot of people who actually align with me. And I was like, at the beginning of the whole myself, not knowing myself, I was frustrated with the fact that I don't meet much introvert. I was frustrated that I always attract extrovert instead of attracting the introvert. So you know what I'm saying is, even partners feels like that. When we're actually divorcing, it's because you are both not progressing in an emotional manner, in a mentally manner, in a spiritual manner, financially manner. You feel like you feel like you are both going down and down and down. Divorce is not something bad, and at the same time, I also understand a lot of people don't like to share themselves that much with their partner, and I also struggle with that. I think that's why I'm more of an anti-married type, because, and also I don't know, because I'm still in my 20s. I don't see myself getting married. I don't see myself having kids. I just want a different life. And I feel like being single is something that I feel so happy with. I don't know why people always make people who are single as something that is actually a disease, because it's not a disease. I'm genuinely happy with being single. I am so fucking happy. So yes, as much as I went to other dates, I was dragging myself because I hate going out on date. So I'm talking about those kind of things. Divorce, it's okay to divorce someone. Just because you got divorced, it doesn't mean there's something that you're lacking, there's something that is right whatsoever. So people should stop make other people who actually divorced like they should feel bad about themselves. They are not failures. The fact that you went out for a marriage, that is courageous shit that you ever done. And there are a lot of people that are hesitant, like me. I'm just like, hell no, you know, because I know myself, you know. So when you're marrying someone, sometimes you don't even know who you are marrying to. You don't know the whole thing. Probably you're still in a fantasy. You're still in that childhood mentality. you are still in that old paradigm. You're still operating from a patriarch. Is it patriarch? Oh, whatever. But the old paradigm where you view things in a generation that used to work back then. Your probably generation, your mother's generation, your grandmother's generation. Your mentality is still stuck in there because they taught you. You're them teaching you some other things. Those things used to work back then. This is a new generation with a new vibrational. We are vibrating different the generation before us. So we are this there's I don't know where it's a verse or what from a Nicki Minaj verse where the conquer I came to win to fly blah blah blah, but kind of this I represent the entire generation where Nicki Minaj was rapping, and I was like, you know what, she was right. She was representing the generation that comes, and Nicki Minaj is still that old um rapper. And a lot of generation now, their rapping style is not the same as Nicki Minaj because she was representing the generation of R&B. So I'm talking about that. So divorce, it's something that is not guaranteed forever. So don't feel guilty, don't feel bad about it. Don't allow other people who trying to make you feel bad about divorcing. That is actually, it's better to be happy than whatsoever. So I think when we're talking about, especially people who are actually Christian, who are married in a Christian way, where they're talking about when I think they're exchanging vows where they've like in through bed and okay, they're talking about bed and in good times and bad times, as well as we're gonna separate through that because of that. I think they need to change that because I feel like when we're talking about marriage, we're gonna make it work until I, I'm gonna make it work if it's still healthy for both of us. If it's not healthy for both of us, we need to separate. Not that. Why are you willing to die while you're still living? You know, when the relationship is dead, it's make you feel like you are surviving instead of living. It make you suffocate. Why are you still stuck in it? You know, both of you are unhappy. Both of you wish to be with other people now. You see that marriage is just not for you. I feel like even marriage now is actually something that is actually expiring because at the same time I still don't understand why marriage was actually done, why marriage is something that is, but I understand because it's something that I don't know. But yes, people love marriage and there's nothing wrong with marriage, but I know some people are not born to be married, okay? So don't force yourself to be one. I'm not saying just because you're divorced you're not gonna get married. If it's still something that you actually want, it's okay to get married again. There's nothing wrong with that. So don't allow this social mentality, social pressure, social nonsense mentality to make you feel stuck, make you feel like you're a failure. Because I recently read oh gosh, I forgot her name, but she's she's a woman in her 60s. She's an actor, American actor. She once acted with Demi Moore in a movie. And Patrick, it was a ghost. She was actually a fraud psychic. What her name? I forgot. When she got married 3 times and both divorced 3 times. And when she's sharing her own experience, she mentioned that she never liked sharing herself with her partner. And I felt like she was speaking to me. She was doing something because everyone was doing it. She was getting married because marriage is something, but it's something that she didn't enjoy. It's something that she felt like it was taking her away from her own principles and values. But she didn't like sharing herself that much with a previous partner. That's why she fell 3 times. And she mentioned that she felt guilty. She felt like a failure. I forgot her name. Oh gosh, I hate that I actually forget her name because I'm a huge fan of her. She's just someone who's actually unconventionally. So I just love people who actually doing things differently. They just I love reject. I love black ships. I love people who actually willing to make a difference, willing to do things differently, who always say to society, fuck it. They're just my favorite. So yeah, I'm just gonna talk about divorce as I mentioned that it's divorce is okay if you don't feel like, because sometimes you don't even know why are you getting married. It's just because you feel the high that you actually the relationship is happy and now you feel like I'm supposed to get married. you probably not even your heart and soul is not into married, you know. So there's nothing wrong with that, but I understand marriage is not for everyone. This is something that we should know. Divorce is something that is happening and it's still gonna happen a lot. I know it scares a lot of people now because a lot of people have this fantasy that there was a program by generation, the past generation, that marriage is supposed to be look like this and that. And as I mentioned before, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, they are still the future. We're still gonna see a lot of marriage like Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith, because both of them, they're doing something that is authentic to them. Both of them, they're actually doing something that is aligned with them. Both of them, they are doing unconventional marriage. Both of them are doing marriage that makes them happy. So a lot of things that are actually happening now, it's something that divorce is something that we're going to see a lot, and it's something that we should normalize instead of labeling people who came from divorce as some people who actually failure. So thank you guys for liking, for subscribing on my YouTube channel. I really appreciate the love. I am truly grateful for what I see. I'm just a happy baby. Okay, so thank you guys. Bye.